Craig, what's that cat's name?
This one, Kurt. He's the best. I got Snoop.
You got anything?
Just a second.
Oh.
Okay, we have attendees joining. We have 9 attendees so far.
Linda, that thing little. Move it.
Mr. Mayor, you're unmuted, FYI.
Yeah, I know.
Looks like 6 o'clock, Mayor.
Okay. We'll call the meeting to order. This is the meeting of Bella Vista City Council for January 26, 2026, holding the meeting by Zoom. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Council members Wilms, Isbell,
Here.
Hanschel,
Here.
Harp,
Here.
Hughes,
Here.
Newport.
Here.
So Wilms is absent. And Mayor Flynn is here.
Okay. The first item is council member reply. Citizen input, excuse me. There's a 3-minute per person time limit to address the council. And total time allotted is 30 minutes.
Yeah, Mayor, if I could, please instruct the attendees to use the raise hand feature in Zoom. If they're using a mobile app, they may have to click the little ellipsis, the little dot to get the raise hand feature. Or if they're on an old-fashioned telephone, they can press *9 to activate that feature.
Okay.
So the first one we have is Alan Knabb.
Okay. Alan Knabb, could you give your address?
You may be muted, Alan.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
I can.
Okay, my address is 1 Allison Drive, Bella Vista, 72715.
Okay, thank you.
Can you just wait a minute? I need to make sure I have this information. 1 Allison Drive, correct?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
sorry.
go ahead, Alan.
Okay, the on the agenda for the city council working session was an item about the Public Safety Advisory Board. And my perception from that item was that the members, the 5 members for the Public Safety Advisory Board would be approved by tonight's council action, but I see there is no such agenda item. So my question is when do you believe that the nominees will be presented to the city council for approval?
That's a good question, Alan. Yeah, we were planning to do that this evening, and we had a problem getting people lined up. And when we had to go to, getting people to get back to us, things like that. And when we had to go to this format, we thought it'd be better to kick it to February. So we were going to announce that at the February meeting. The first time they were going to meet was sometime in March. So we felt like we had time to do that. But we did have 43 applications, which I got to tell you was very gratifying that people are so interested. And so I'm sorry that we weren't able to complete that tonight, but we would definitely will get a hold of everybody and let them know and have an announcement in February.
Okay, thank you, because I was one of the nominees.
Okay, thank you. Do we have anybody else, John?
Can I just offer one reminder? We're working with a different format tonight, but public comment is 3 minutes to comment. It's not necessarily a Q&A. And so I just want to say that for the benefit of everyone who may be wanting to participate. Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, yes, next we have Matthew Sanders.
Okay. Matthew, could you remind me of your address?
7 Nantwich Circle.
Okay, thank you. You can proceed.
Great, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Well, first of all, I'd like to do a quick rebuttal based off of last month's testimony. I was reached out to afterwards, and I was questioned on whether or not I liked children, and I wanted to support them. And so to that, I would say I'd like to point everyone to Matthew chapter 18, verse 6, where Jesus says, "Anyone that harms a child of mine should tie a millstone around their neck and drown in the sea." And I stand with Jesus, period. To move forward, what I'd like to talk about is, this is my 1 year, it's been 1 year since I first spoke out about our house issues. And I want to catch everybody up to where we are. We are sitting at $150,000 of known issues, repairs that are needed to be made on the house to bring our house to code. Our house should have never received a certificate of occupancy based on the failures to inspect for each of those known inspections. And I understand that the inspector Arnett, who inspected our house, has been terminated for not being able to do her job the way she was supposed to. So I don't blame the city for what has happened. Now I'm asking the city to help me move forward. And so we've identified, that there were some scrupulous builders who were using pictures from other builds, and you guys have changed that. And I appreciate all those efforts, but what we have left me and my family with is a house that quite literally doesn't meet code and is dangerous. Our most recent identification, I got to catch you up. In June 2025, the lawyer of the builder and their engineer came to our house. They spent 4.5 hours inspecting all of the issues that we addressed. And they produced a 60-page document basically substantiating every one of those claims. Furthermore, they've identified other issues with the framing. And right now, we have our exterior walls framed with 2x4s when the code in section R602.3.1 clearly says that it should be a 2x6 construction, because our house holds up 2 floors and a roof. So I sent an email tonight asking all of our city council members and the mayor to please re-inspect our house for the 3 known safety issues that need to be addressed by the city.
Matthew, your 3 minutes are up.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else? John? John Mokel.
I see no other hands raised at this time.
Okay. It's time for council member reply, if anyone would like to respond. Okay, I take it that no one does. The next item on the agenda is reports. And we have a financial report for the period ending November 30, 2025. And first I want to talk about the results. The operating income is up 10.2%, operating revenue this year as compared to last year. The city sales tax is up 12.3%. County's up 2.8%. Property tax is up very significantly. We'll wait for year end to be sure on that. So it was a very good report. The total operating expenditures are 1.1 million below budget. So the revenues are 1.8 million more than budget. And the expenses are 1.1 million below budget. So we're almost $3 million ahead of our budget. So that's very encouraging. I did want to point out to you one change that Kim Hall and I made on the very first page, the balance sheet. It used to say cash and cash equivalents, and it still does. It says 11.8 million, but it now has a breakdown. It's broken down between general funds available and our cash reserve requirement. And the third item is the money that's from impact fees, since that can only be used for certain things. And the point of this is to give people a little more clarity, particularly the cash reserve requirement. You know, that's a self-imposed restriction. So people say, oh, we have $11 million. We've got tons of money. And some of that money we've made a decision that, hey, we always want to have this much in reserve, right? So that's the reason for that breakdown, just so it explains it a little more thoroughly. And down in fund balances, similarly, we've added categories. We have restricted, and then we have assigned. And assigned refers to things that are donations that are not yet spent. So for instance, if the library gets donations, it needs to be used for library things. If the fire department gets donations, it's used for fire things. So it's somewhat of a nature of a restriction. Then there's the reserve, and the reserve is referring to that same self-imposed ruling, and that number is exactly the same as the cash reserve requirement. And then it shows what's unassigned. So it's just a way to see the cash and the fund balance in a little more detail. And we thought we'd, rather than wait for the new year, we thought we'd start doing that right away. Thought people might find that helpful. So the other thing that happened, I think I mentioned last week at the work session, we did get a AA credit rating on our new bond issue. So I was very encouraged by that. And I did want to remind people, we have a bond meeting, a city council special meeting on February 3 at 5:30 p.m. at the courtroom. And we had 4 people who are able to make that. So it's important to make that, or else let us know if you have some type of problem with it, come up at the last minute. Hopefully that won't happen. So that's the financial report. And I think if there aren't questions about that, we'll go ahead to the next item, which is the election of mayor pro tempore. Jason, did you want to just briefly mention the rules on that? I think people probably know them by now, but you might mention them briefly.
Well, we only do this once a year, so I'm happy to refresh everyone's recollection with the rule. This is Rule 9B of your rules of your standing rules of order and procedure. The city council shall, at the time of organizing in public session, elect one of its members as mayor pro tempore. Any council member may nominate himself or any other member of the city council for mayor pro tempore, and no second of a nomination is required. Each council member shall vote by naming his choice by voice vote if there is more than one nominee for the position. A majority vote of the city council shall be required for election.
Okay, so we're open for nominations. If anyone would like to nominate someone.
Mayor.
Flynn.
Yes, Travis.
Yeah, I believe there's some ethical and probably FOIA violations in relation to the mayor pro tem vote. So I would motion to table this until we have further discussion on that, probably in another session.
Mayor, that motion would not be in order. First of all, I'm concerned about what the FOIA violation might be, but nevertheless, state law requires that at the regular meeting in January, at the time of organizing, that the council must elect a mayor pro tempore. So, Mayor, it's state law that cannot be tabled to a future meeting.
Okay, yeah, I thought we had to do it in January. Is there anybody else with nominations?
I'd like to nominate myself.
Okay, who is that speaking?
Greg.
Oh, okay, Greg Hansel. Any other nominations?
Hi, Mayor.
Nominations be closed. Oh, go ahead.
Yes.
Sorry. I'd like to nominate Wendy Hughes for Mayor Pro Tempe.
Okay. Larry, did you have something?
I was going to make a motion that the nominations be closed.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that's in order or not.
I don't see why it wouldn't be in order, Mayor. So if you want to take a vote on the motion to close the nominations and proceed to a final vote on the question, you can certainly do that.
Okay, don't I need a second for the motion?
You would.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Who is that?
Greg.
Oh, okay. So that was a motion by Larry Wilms, second by Craig Hansel. Roll call vote to close the nominations.
Councilmember Wilms,
Vote for a person. Is that the idea?
No, we're just voting to close the
Close.
nominations right now.
I, yes.
Isbell,
Yes.
Hanschel,
Yes.
Harp,
Yes.
Hughes,
Yes.
Newport.
Yes.
Okay, motion carried 6-0. I think now we're ready for the vote on the nominees. The two nominees are Craig Hansel and Wendy Hughes. And I believe we'll vote in the same order and just say the name of the person that you're voting for.
Yes.
Roll call, please. Wanda?
Yes. Councilmember Wilms,
Craig Honcho, please.
Councilmember Isbell,
Wendy Hughes.
Councilmember Hanschel,
Greg Honchel, please.
Councilmember Harp,
Honcho.
Councilmember Hughes,
Hughes.
Councilmember Newport,
Hughes.
Okay, Mayor, the vote is tied 3-3. and you may vote for one of the two that have been nominated if you so desire. Otherwise, we need to go to another round of voting and continue voting.
Okay, I'll vote for Hanschel.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So the voting is closed. Craig Hanschel's elected 4-3. The next item is entertaining a motion to suspend the rules of order and procedure to allow all ordinances on the agenda to be read by title only.
Second.
So that was Larry Wilms, and I
Wilms?
wasn't sure who the second was.
Shay.
Shay
Newport.
Newport.
Okay. Second is Newport. Okay.
Okay, roll call vote on the motion to suspend the rules of order and procedure to allow all ordinances on the agenda to be read by title only.
Council members Wilms,
Yes.
Isbell,
Yes.
Hanschel,
Yes.
Harp,
Yes.
Hughes,
Yes.
Newport.
Yes.
Motion carried, 6-0. Thank you for that. The next item is the consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to
Motion to
approve.
Second.
That was Anna Isbell and Craig Hanschel. Roll call vote on the motion to approve the consent agenda.
Council members Wilms,
Yes.
Isbell,
Yes.
Hanschel, 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 Hanschel.
Yes. My internet. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Now
Yeah.
I can. So your
Okay.
internet is
My internet
interrupting.
is just coming in and out. Okay.
Okay, I've got a yes.
Okay.
Council member Harp.
Yes.
Harp. Oh, you need to unmute, Travis.
Harp said yes.
Oh, he said yes? I couldn't hear that. Okay, Hughes
Yes.
and Newport.
Yes.
Motion carried, 6-0. Thank you for that. The next item is new business. And it's an ordinance amending section 2551 standards applicable to special events of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Bella Vista to eliminate the liability waiver requirement and for other purposes. And staff would like this to be moved to third and final. I think Cassie explained it at the work session, but if there's any questions, feel free to bring them up. Oh, is there a motion to go to third and final?
I have a question there.
Oh, okay, Larry.
So we take a vote on this, and first motion is go to third and final, or do we take a vote on the ordinance itself?
All ordinances have to be read 3 times unless the rules are suspended. So there's going to be what is being requested, I believe, is a motion to suspend the rules, go to third and final reading. There will be a vote on that motion. And then if that motion is adopted, then the mayor will read the title for the third time. There will be debate, and then potentially a motion to approve, final approval at that time.
Thank you. I'll make a motion to go to third and final.
Okay, so
Second.
that motion is to suspend the rules and go to third and
Suspend the
final
rules
reading.
and go to third and final on this ordinance.
Okay, that was Larry Wilms. And was the second, was that Shay?
Anna Isbell.
Anna,
Anna.
sorry. Yeah. Sometimes when people speak, their picture doesn't come up, so then it can be challenging. Okay, so it was motion by Wilms, second by Anna Isbell. I need to read it third and final. Well, no, we need to vote first, don't we? I'm sorry.
You got to vote on that motion.
Yeah, we need to vote on the motion to go to third and final.
Okay, so council members Wilms,
Yes.
Isbell,
Yes.
Hanchel,
Yes.
Harp.
Yes.
Yes, okay. Hughes,
Yes.
Newport.
Yes.
Motion carried 6-0. So I'll read it for third and final time. Ordinance amending section 2551 standards applicable to special events of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Bella Vista to eliminate the liability waiver requirement and for other purposes. So I think we're ready for a roll call vote on passing it.
Don't we need a motion to adopt it?
Oh, yeah, we need a motion and second, that's right.
Mayor, there needs to be a request of any further debate, and then if not, then a motion to approve would be in order.
Yeah. Is there any further debate?
I motion to approve.
Second.
That was Travis and Craig Hunchel. Roll call vote on the motion to approve.
Council members Wilms,
Yes.
Isbell,
Yes.
Hanchel,
Yes.
Harp,
Yes.
Hughes,
Yes.
and Newport.
Yes.
Motion carried 6-0. Thank you for that. The next one is an ordinance waiving the requirements of formal competitive bidding and authorizing the purchase of street sand and salt based on price and availability by informal price quotes through December 31, 2026. And I think this is another one that they, if people are amenable, they wouldn't mind this going to third and final.
I would move to third and final reading ordinance proposed.
Second.
So Mayor, that's a
That was
motion to suspend the rules.
Suspend the
and go third and
rules.
final.
Yeah, that was motion by Larry Wilms and a second by Craig Honchel. Roll call vote on the motion to suspend the rules and move to third and final reading.
Council members Wilms,
Yes.
Isbell,
Yes.
Hanchel,
Yes.
Harp,
Yes.
Hughes,
Yes.
Newport.
Yes.
Motion carried 6-0. Is there any further debate or discussion?
I think, Mayor, that
Mayor, if you've got to read the title for the third time.
Oh, I'm sorry. Waiving the requirements of formal competitive bidding and authorizing the purchase of street, salt, and sand based on price and availability by informal price quotes through December 31, 2026. Larry Wilms, I think you had a comment.
I did. The table of historic practices seems to show that we've done fairly well in using this approach to acquire sand and salt for our winter road protection. And I would make a motion to approve the ordinance.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
That was Larry Wilms and Anna Isbell. If there's not any more discussion, we can go ahead to roll call vote.
Council members Wilms,
Yes.
Isbell,
Yes.
Hanchel,
Yes.
Harp,
Yes.
Hughes,
Yes.
and Newport. Newport.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carried 6-0. Next one is an ordinance mandating that Bella Vista Advertising and Promotion Commission publish and indefinitely maintain approved commission meeting minutes on its official website and for other purposes. And this was suggested by Travis Harp. It's on first reading, and I think Travis explained at the work session what his thinking was. Larry Wilms, I noticed you had put forward a suggested amendment. Do you want to explain that a little bit?
I guess the idea was to soften the mandating part of it, and then to identify what I thought to be reasonable time frame of keeping minutes on file and available to the public. They're always on file by request, so that's not an issue. There's no precedent of denying those, and in fact, they are public record anyway. So I went through and made a couple of adjustments in the language in there that you can read. I think it makes a little more sense, and it's a little more clear perhaps than the original draft was. I think I agree that if we need to direct the A&P Commission to do this, this would be a fair way to make that request or order to them.
Yeah, it looked like you were saying that keep them on the website going back 2 years.
Correct. Initially, they would start with the first 12 months back, and then we would build to that 2-year limit based on how it was written. And it makes sense to me.
Sir,
Yes.
I am great
Wendy?
with, I'm sorry, thank you, sorry. I am great with either the original ordinance or the amendment. I think it's fantastic to require that boards and commissions have minutes required. Was anyone of the mindset that we should have this across the board with all of the boards and commissions that we have, or should we just maintain it only for the A&P? I like the idea of having them all available, but I understand if that's not the desire of the council. I'm so sorry about the coughing.
Yeah, it's that time of year.
Mayor.
Travis?
Yeah, so I would just to address Wendy's question first off. This specific ordinance is about the Advertising and Promotion Commission. If the council desires to move forward with other boards and stuff, you can propose that ordinance to the council. I don't think there's any problem with that. And to Larry's amendment, I'm not exactly sure, but it may be more work to go in and remove things after the time period elapses versus just keeping them on there posted. But I'm not opposed to hearing other members' thoughts on that.
Sir?
Wendy?
I didn't know, Travis, if you would be open to us tabling this and then including it for all boards and commissions, or if you want to have this as a standalone. I totally can appreciate that. And we can move forward with other boards and commissions, and also having that same layer of transparency, whatever like the council is okay with.
Mr. Mayor.
Greg?
Yeah, the only thing, I mean, I think we could achieve without tabling. I mean, this is the first reading, right? So, I mean,
Yes.
we can amend along the way if somebody wants to propose an amendment to keep the ordinance proposal in place. I mean, I don't have a problem with, you know, anything that the city, any commission or whatever that the city has that money filters through, like the A&P. I mean, I think there should be transparency and reporting for any committee, council, whatever. So, I mean, we don't have to table this and then reintroduce or anything like that. We can just make amendments along the way. So, and I agree with Councilmember Harp. I think it's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
I need to clarify one thing. On the proposed amendment, I didn't draft it. It says at the bottom that I prepared it. I didn't. I think that's just a cut and paste from the original ordinance. I'm sure that's all that was intended by that. I just wanted to provide that clarification. I would just say this: there is underlined language and italicized language. And I assume that means that the strike through is deleted and the underline is added. Is that because it doesn't say that? And that normally would be the case. I just want to provide clarity for that point.
That would be correct, Attorney Kelly. That the crossouts are deletions, the underlines are the insertions following it, and they're in uppercase and lowercase depending where they are in the text body of the draft ordinance.
Mr. Mayor.
Shay?
Yeah, I just wanted to say to Councilmember Wilms that it seems like in the amendment you've proposed, there's conflicting timelines. At the beginning, you say covering prior to calendar years, and towards the end, it says for the 12-month period. So I would just, I like the idea of your amendment and I would like to consider it further, but if we could get some clarifying language around exactly what you're proposing, and I would personally like to review that next month.
That's a good point. One thing I wanted to bring up and maybe partially ask our attorney about, we have some commissions that have decision-making authority and some that are strictly advisory. So that seems like a big leap between the two. And I didn't know if we should have minutes on all of them or just distinguish between the ones that really have some, power to do things. We have commissions like the Library Advisory Board that just advises, and there's a number of different ones like that just advise and don't really have power to do things the way the A&P Commission does.
I understand that, Mayor. I would point out a couple of things to you. Not all of your advisory boards take minutes. Cassie pointed that out. I'm not sure if, say, the Library Advisory Board or the Tree Advisory Board, we have several. I don't know that they take and approve formal minutes. The ordinance that you have in front of you is, as Mr. Hart pointed out, strictly about the A&P Commission, and it has a degree of independence. The council does have the right to require it to post minutes. It has the power to require its advisory commissions or advisory committees and boards to make minutes and to have them posted. But the direction of them to post it is because they are independent. And so it's not like the city government itself can just do it. So we need to provide an instruction that they have to do it, which you can do. Now, in terms of all the other boards and commissions that are not independent, the city staff does that, and that's all answering to the mayor. So, and the mayor can determine if he wants that or not, or the council can direct that. But I just wanted to point out that there is a little bit of a different consideration when it comes to the A&P Commission related to everything else. Don't confuse minutes with FOI. FOI applies to governing bodies. So that has to do with the public access to their meetings. And then that in turn deals with decision-making authority. So things like our planning committee, obviously the A&P, but the Planning Commission, Board of Zoning Adjustments, Board of Construction Appeals, any of those groups that have authority to do something legal, FOI applies, and I believe they do maintain minutes. Things like your Tree Advisory Board, your public safety, your soon to be reconstituted Public Safety Advisory Board, Tree Advisory Board, and Library, and there are others. Those do not fall within the FOI definition of a governing body. So that's probably why there's some distinction between those as well. but and probably a good reason as to why there are no minutes. At least I'm not aware of any of those advisory boards that do minutes. I don't know if Cassie's on the line and she could answer that, or any of the other staff that sort of coordinate those. But if you want to require them to take minutes and put them on the website, then we're going to need to do a little bit more work on this ordinance or another ordinance.
Mayor.
Yes, Travis.
Yeah, just to kind of rearticulate some of the points that Mr. Kelly made for us. This specific ordinance is about the Advertising and Promotion Commission because they're an entity that collects taxes independently from the city. I don't believe any of those other boards or commissions do that. And so I would appreciate this ordinance specifically staying just specific to the Advertising and Promotion Commission, if the council would agree to do that.
Mr. Mayor.
Greg.
I agree with Councilman Harp. I think this should stand alone on its own merit. I didn't take that into consideration as far as A&P collecting tax dollars directly like that. So yeah, I understand, and we can come back through with a different ordinance that would address the other advisory boards and stuff like that, throughout. But I think this should be a standalone.
Yeah. Okay. Well, sounds to me like if you guys are in agreement with it, maybe we should go to second reading next month and maybe clean up the language a little on the amendment, and then you can decide, how you want to proceed. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So why don't we try that?
Mayor,
Yes.
I would concur with the comments of the attorney and Counselor Craig. I think that Counselor Newport's comments in the title about covering the 2 calendar years needs to be eliminated. So I'll submit a revised amendment with that lacking.
Yeah.
Can I ask that I'm happy to write it, and so if you'd send it to me, I'll make sure it's exactly what you want, and hopefully we wouldn't have any format issues. But of course, you have the right to submit it on your own if that's what you want. I'm just here to do that, so that's your decision.
Okay.
I guess, Mayor, I would ask that Attorney Kelly redraft this in a format that's conducive with the city standard. So.
Okay. Yeah, I think you can draft something up and run it past you and make sure it's what you think. Is that all right, Jason?
That is what I'm here to do. I'm happy to do it.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay, the next one is a resolution authorizing the mayor and city clerk to enter into a contract with P&K Equipment, Inc. pursuant to a Sourcewell cooperative purchasing agreement for the purchase of one new John Deere 5075 utility tractor with rotary cutter and cage in the amount of $67,275.71 for use by the street department. And this is Karen Hunt had talked about this last week. So this is replacing one of our old tractors that was involved in the fire back in 2012. And she did mention to me she's planning to keep that tractor as a spare, so when something goes down, they could utilize it. And she also mentioned there were several tractors that went through that fire. So maybe the next few years we'll be working our way through, gradually getting new ones to replace them. So,
motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Seconded.
Jay?
That was Larry Wilms and Shay Newport. Is there more discussion, or are you ready for a roll call vote? Okay, I think you can go ahead with the roll call, Wanda.
Council members Wilms,
Yes.
Isbell,
Yes.
Hanschel,
Yes.
Harp,
Yes.
Hughes,
Yes.
and Newport.
Yes.
Motion carried, 6-0. The next one is a resolution awarding bid and authorizing the mayor and city clerk to enter into a contract with Superior Automotive Group in the total amount of $120,521 for the purchase of 2 Chevrolet Tahoe vehicles for use by the fire department. And I know Wolfgang talked about this last week. I'm not sure if Chief Sims is on the line, wants to say anything about it.
I understand that he may have had some he might not be able to make it tonight.
Oh, okay. I knew he was supposed to be back travel wise, but now you mention it.
No, I'm online, Mayor.
Oh, are you?
Oh,
Can you
I'm
hear me?
sorry. Excuse me,
That's
Chief.
good.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Is there any questions?
I guess I didn't read the packet completely for the work session, and I did this time, all of it. My concern is that the introduction memorandum is missing some information on it, and I would like to table this until that memorandum is updated to include the information about background and the recommendation by the fire department. So my motion is to table it until the next meeting, until the documentation is brought up to date.
What
Or completed.
Hang on, Steve, that he's made a motion, so the mayor needs to
Gotcha.
see if there's a second to that motion.
Okay, is there a second?
Well, could the fire chief just explain that so Larry doesn't have any?
We had an explanation
Considerations
at
about-
the introduction, but when I read the paperwork, there's no explanation in there, so we have no documentation in the file. That's the reason for delay.
So you're talking about the backup information.
I'm talking about the memorandum that came with it, was written by Cassie Lapp.
Okay.
It doesn't address the background in writing in the narrative. I know that Deputy Chief verbally told us about that, but I think it needs to be in the paper documentation.
Yeah, I think you're referring to the part he talked about where I think one of the Tahoes was around 55,000, the other was around 65 because of different things on them and whatnot.
No, not even that. The fact is that I think this one here is where we have a vehicle 2012 that we're replacing on this one. Is this the Tahoe? Yeah. It's correct. A 2012 Tahoe, but none of that information's in the documentation that was submitted. So I'd like to send it back and have that finished, completed, so we have good paperwork for it.
Okay, I didn't hear where I got a second on the motion.
I'll go ahead and second it so we can vote.
Craig, okay. That was the motion to table item P until next meeting is by Larry Williamson, second by Craig Honchel. So we could have a roll call vote.
Well, Mayor, first there can be further debate on whether the item should be tabled.
Yeah. Would you like to?
And then I don't know if Mr. Sims had something he was trying to say something and.
Okay.
Well, no, this was done it for myself from Cassie. Cassie, you're on here. Can you speak to that? Because all the documents we had, we sent to Cassie to include in the packet.
The documentation on the purchase is there, but not the documentation on the rationale that's in the memorandum transmitting it. There are two items. One is the background, and the other one is the recommendation of why you chose this particular thing.
The bids are included in the agenda packet.
The bids are included. That's clarified on its own, but that doesn't finish the documentation. If you look at the others that are submitted in the whole packet that we got today, The two items, the background and the recommendations are both.
Oh, you're talking about on the memo.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, my apologies. I didn't, no, I completed these for Steve since he was out of town and I don't typically do that. So that part did not get done. I uploaded the bids and the bid notice as requested. And I mean, I suppose, Steve, you can speak on the background as to why this bid is the one that you guys chose.
I don't have any problem with the choice. My problem is with the documentation of the rationale, which is consistent with all of the other things that we get.
Did Chief Wolfgang cover that with y'all? That he told me he did. I mean, what do you need to
Well,
know?
he verbally told us that at the meeting, but that's not in the paperwork. And so what we needed is in the paperwork.
Steve, I think what he's wanting is why you guys chose this bid over other bids. Is that correct, Larry?
Well, we
No.
got one. We only received one bid.
I'm looking for an explanation of the background as to why we're doing this, a written narrative, and then a written narrative of the recommendation on choice. And those were verbally given to us at the work session, and we can hear it again tonight, but it doesn't make the documentation in paper backing it up for.
That is something that on the vehicles like this, we have never produced in the past.
Well,
we discussed that at the work session.
Maybe I've been remiss in not calling you on it, but if it's been that way in the past, Steve, Chief Sims, I apologize for excusing you.
No, and I apologize I didn't get in there. Like Cassie said, I was out. My admin assistance on FMLA right now, so she was helping the fire department out in that aspect. So in the past, we just, told the council what we're using these vehicles for and what we're getting these for. They're replacement. Two of them are replacement vehicles, and one of them is additional since we hired an additional inspector.
I appreciate that. I understand the need. I'm going to support the need when we come to vote on it, but now the paperwork is not ready to be processed, in my humble opinion. You don't have the documentation complete.
Mayor,
Yes, Nana.
I'm looking through the other things on the agenda tonight, where we're making purchases, and I'm trying to figure out what's missing from this one that would not be missing from the others. And I guess I'm not understanding or seeing what Mr. Wilms is referring to.
I don't have the packet in front of me, but there's a memorandum from Cassie Lapp that presents the document for consideration. The background section is blank and void, and the recommendation is blank and void. It goes from the introduction of what they want to do and then the bid tabulations. And if you look at those from other departments, they include all of that information on their introduction.
Mayor, I have a question.
Travis?
I don't have the packet's not loading for me. My internet's gone. Is this a resolution or an ordinance? Could you remind me?
No, it's a resolution. Yeah.
Resolution.
And then my other question would be to the fire chief, if since he already has this on bid, what would be the outcome if we pushed it back a month? Would that be detrimental to the fire department or to this bid?
Well, we'll probably have to go out and possibly have to go back and rebid this project.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
We may be able to include it with our special meeting in February.
I just wanted to ask Mr. Kelly if there was any kind of legal requirement for this memo or is it a necessity or is it a nice to have on having that portion of the packet?
I'm sorry, I think I was speaking over you. I apologize. It's informative for the council. It has no legal bearing. The system that we use to generate the agenda and to upload the documents provides fields for various things that they fill in. And then that memo is automatically generated based on the data that's input into the fields. And so that's how that memo is created. The operative documents are obviously the text of the resolution. the bid specs that are in there, justifying why this particular vendor was selected. Those are the key documents. But it is certainly within the council's purview to say, I want more complete information before I'm willing to vote on something, and that is within the council's right to do so, though the memo itself does not have independent legal bearing.
Thank you, Mr. Kelly. For my portion of the debate, I just want to state that I think the verbal presentation that we received both last week and this week are public record. They'll be in the meeting notes, and that's sufficient for me, although I do really appreciate your attention to detail, Mr. Wilm.
Okay, is there any more discussion? Right now, we have a motion and a second to table resolution P. So if there's no more discussion, I think we can vote on that.
I need one clarity, that's to table to next month,
To our next meeting.
to the next regular meeting. Okay.
Well, the next meeting of the council, whenever we can put it on. So if we can put it on the meeting in February 3rd, it can be there. I mean,
All right, so you're moving to table, it's your motion, and I'm not trying to put words in your mouth. So when are you moving to table the proposed resolution
to a next meeting of the city council.
be it regular or special?
Correct.
Okay.
So for the minutes, that would be February 3rd, correct, Jason?
No, it's exactly what he said. He didn't give a specific date.
Whenever our next official meeting would be.
To the next official meeting. Okay, thank you.
Okay, now I'm a lawyer, so we don't have anything in the rules that talk about official meetings. We have
Okay.
regular meetings and we have special meetings. And we also have informal work sessions. So it would need to be tabled to either a regular or special meeting. And if I understood Mr. Wilms's motion, you're moving to table this to the next regular or special meeting of the council.
Correct.
That is available.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So we have a motion by Mr. Wilms, second by Craig Honchel, and we'll have a roll call vote on the motion to table.
Council members Wilms,
Yes.
Isbell,
No.
Hanschel,
No.
Harp,
No.
Hughes,
No.
Newport.
No.
Motion failed 1-5, and so the resolution is still up for discussion. Or if people can either discuss some more or make a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Seconded by Newport.
That was Anna Isbell and Shay Newport. Motion to approve the resolution. Roll call vote.
Council members Wilms,
No.
Isbell,
Yes.
Hanschel, Hanschel,
Yes. Sorry.
sorry, Harp,
Yes.
Hughes,
Yes.
Newport.
Yes.
Motion carried 5-1. Okay, the next one is resolution Q, which is awarding bid and authorizing the mayor and city clerk to enter into a contract with Superior Automotive Group in the total amount of $52,666 for the purchase of one Chevrolet Silverado 1500 four-wheel drive pickup for use by the fire department. Is there any discussion?
I would make a motion to table this one for the same rationale that we had on item P. Lack of complete information in the packet. And until the next regular or special meeting of the council.
Okay, is there a second on the motion to
Second.
table?
Second.
It was Greg Honcho. Is there discussion? Okay, I guess we're ready for a roll call vote then. Wanda?
Thank you.
This is
Councilmember,
on the motion to table until the next regular or special meeting.
Council members Wilms,
Yes.
Isbell,
No.
Hanschel,
No.
Harp,
No.
Hughes,
No.
and Newport.
No.
Okay, motion failed 1-5. Is there any more discussion, or would somebody like to make a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
No.
It was Greg Honcho and Travis Harp.
No.
Any more discussion? Okay, let's go ahead with the roll call vote.
Council members Wilms,
No.
Isbell,
Yes.
Hanschel,
Yes.
Harp,
Yes.
Hughes,
Yes.
and Newport.
Yes.
Motion carried 5-1. Next one's a resolution approving the mayor's appointment of Eugene Oberlander Jr. to the Bella Vista Board of Construction Appeals for a term ending December 31, 2028.
Move to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
That was Larry Wilms and Craig Honcho. Roll call vote.
Council members Wilms,
Yes.
Isbell,
Yes.
Hanschel,
Yes.
Harp,
Yes.
Hughes,
Yes.
and Newport.
Yes.
Motion carried 6-0. Thank you for that. Next one is a resolution setting a business license fee and renewal fee. And I think Taylor talked about this at the work session, and it's in your packet what was suggested. Is there some discussion about it?
I guess my thoughts are is that I don't see where there's a benefit to the businesses of our introduction of a business license program. And I know that most other communities in Northwest Arkansas do have a business licensing program. I think that there is, because there's a lack of benefit and the initial costs would seem to me to generate a profit for the department processing these. I can't believe that an employee can't process two documents an hour. And if you take $50, that's $100 an hour that's in a return to do that. And it seems to be exorbitant to me and excessive. And I would propose to reduce the fee for the initial license to $25 and the renewals to $10.
Sir?
Wendy?
Hey, Councilmember Williams, I fully support this. I think that any fees for this should be nominal at most. And so as long as the language is correct legally in the amendment, which I think it looks like it is struck through, I am full support of moving to 25 and 10.
Thank you.
Mayor,
Travis?
this may surprise the panel, but I don't support any fees in relation to business license. I don't really support the idea of the business license, although I understood why they were saying we needed one. I felt like we could have used the current certificate of occupancy to gain the same insights that we're aiming to get off of a business license. I don't support more regulation, more permitting, just more steps to the government to have to open up a business. I think we need to make it as streamlined as possible. Also, currently, we're also having issues with our other permitting processes. So I don't anticipate that this one would go a lot smoother. So I don't support any of the fees. That's just my two.
Okay, anybody else?
Mr. Mayor,
Craig?
the only thing that I'd add is that I'd like everybody to keep in mind that this is public safety. It's not a business license per se in the sense that you have to have a like some technical skilled license to operate. What this is allowing the city to do is come in with its fire inspector to make sure that the building is safe, that it's built correctly, so on and so forth. So it's public safety. I mean, I'm not opposed to reducing the fee down to zero. I could care less, but in that respect, the trying to, I know the city's not out for monetary gain trying to impose something like this. What this is doing, it's just giving the city trackable information that every business that sets up shop here, it's safe. That's it. And so, and I don't know what that involves. Chief Sims may be able to speak to this more so than me, but I don't know if that means that they're going to send a big truck with a crew to go. I don't know how that works, as far as what they have for like uh, house call type vehicles. I don't know if that's what the Tahoes do, et cetera. But there is a fee attached to that. I mean, as far as, I don't know if the inspection takes an hour or 2 hours, whatever it takes. So,
You have to wait. You gotta wait. I'm sorry.
but but that's what I mean. As long as we're able to recoup the cost of what it takes to get that inspection done, that would be the only thing as far as, we're at an even trade-off there. But I agree with Councilman Hart, as far as $0, that's fine. But on the other hand, I do kind of support that there has to, everything costs money. And I'm not saying that you put the onus on the business owners, but I mean the reality is that if it's $25 a year, $10 a year, that's a nominal fee. I mean, that's, I know that business owners aren't having to pay that out of pocket is what I'm getting at. So, but anyway, I am in agreement with lowering the cost or the fee. This is something that we need to talk about further, as far as like a tabling or something like that. I just like to know what everybody else kind of thinks about it. Thanks.
Mayor, one more thing to add on.
Travis?
Yeah, thanks, Councilmember Honcho. I appreciate that insight. I would support it too if the fee was zero. However, it's still another step. It's still cumbersome, and also if Chief Sims wants to speak to it, I encourage that insight. But the fire department's already doing these life safety inspections on buildings prior to issuing the certificate of occupancy. Plus, the business owners are already subject to a lot of different fees. They have to buy fire extinguishers. They have to keep up their insurance rates, which are increasing every year, and et cetera, et cetera. So I would support the license if it was for a zero fee, but I just think that it's cumbersome to ask the businesses at this point.
Mr. Mayor.
Craig?
To Travis's point, and I didn't think about buying extinguishers and so on and so forth. But I mean, that just kind of goes hand in hand back to public safety in my mind. So I'm not trying to turn this into a big drawn out debate or anything like that. But if it's a redundancy, I mean, this may be something that we need to talk about a little bit further. If the occupancy and the license are basically one and the same, I mean, certificate of occupancy, we can, is it doing the same thing? I was going to ask you, Jason. I was curious to what your take is on it, if you don't mind, please.
Well, I don't have a take in terms of an opinion. I just need to make sure everyone understands what the legal impact is here. If you set this at zero, it does not mean people don't have to get a business license. You've adopted the business license ordinance and requirement. Those requirements are in place. So that is not going to eliminate the business license if you say it's charged zero. So it's not a backdoor repeal to your business license. People will still have to get one. So so that part is sort of decided unless you decide to go back and do something with that in the future. All this does is says, okay, the ordinance says we charge a fee. This is the amount of the fee. And the fee can be zero if that's the will of the council, or it could be what's proposed, or it could be something in between. It could be anything. I would just caution the council, and I certainly don't think there's any discussion about going higher, but you can't use it as a revenue generator. So it has to be in some way viewed as a recoupment of the cost, expense, labor of maintaining and doing it. And so it has to be thought of as kind of a what's our break even in terms of what it takes for the government to implement it. So that's the limit. And Taylor provided some of that information. I would also say this, that ordinance is coming into effect, and there are timing issues related to the need to figure out what the fee is going to be it 0, be it 50, be it 25, be it 10, whatever that is. And I haven't seen Taylor. I don't know if she's on the on the meeting as well, but
I'm here.
I would defer to her on timing issues. But I just want to reiterate we're not debating whether we should have business licenses. That debate has taken place. This debate is the amount of fee that will be charged for that.
Mayor, do you want me to discuss the timing?
Yeah, go ahead, Taylor.
So we need a fee established, whether it's 0, 25, 50, 10, whatever it be, before Monday, February 9th. The plan was, if you guys approve this tonight, we could release the application tomorrow to everyone who's been asking for it. We've got some early birds, or early, whatever the saying is, early birds that want the worm, whatnot, doing the due diligence that are asking about it, and we can't release it until a fee has been set. And so I'm not sure time-wise if there would be another meeting between now and then. I know you guys were maybe discussing another meeting possibly next week, but we do need a fee decided by y'all before February 9th. And another thing just to keep in mind is it's not just one person that's touching this. It's a permitting software that's touching it. It's a intake person that's touching it. It's a planner that's touching it. It's a building that's touching it. It's a fire inspector that's touching it. So, we're looking around 4 to 5 staff, and then however many inspections are needed to complete that process. So it's not just like one person sitting here and touching it and getting it out the door. I think that comment was made in the earlier stage of this discussion, but happy to answer any other questions you might have.
I guess one thought is that I'm assuming that most of the businesses that have storefronts are under the watchful eye of the fire department already, and have or are included in regular annual inspections for their required public safety access. And I think that's a fair assumption. I don't know that there's any business that has an open door for customers to come in other than home businesses that may have an occasional customer stop by that does business that may not be under the watchful eye of the fire department. But I'm thinking that they are already there if they have a storefront. So the process of doing this is probably going to be fairly streamlined because of the applications will follow that pattern. My intent was to reduce the fee, and then it's up to the council to vote up or down what with the reduced fee is my proposal. In other words, 0 fee or reduced fee.
Okay, Larry, are you the one that proposed the license fee be $25 and $10 for a renewal?
Correct. That's my amendment proposal.
Okay, Mayor, I need to, again, just to provide clarity for the record, there is a proposed amendment which was sent out to the council. It says I prepared it, I didn't. And so, but this is again just a cut and paste from the main resolution, which was in the packet. There's nothing intended by that. I just want to point that out. I think this is if I'm understanding, and Mr. Williams has yet to make a motion. but if he's wanting to strike 50 in section 1, strike $50 and insert $25, and then further in that section to strike $25 and insert $10. Is that what? And we have that in writing, which is the only rule. And so if we're limited to that potential amendment, then Mr. Williams could move that amendment, and then there could be a second and further debate on that.
I would make a motion to amend resolution under item S for business licensing to reduce the fees from 50 to 25 and from 25 to 10.
Okay.
Seconded by Newport.
Okay, that was a motion by Larry Wilms and a second by Shay Newport. Is there more discussion, or are people ready to vote?
I'm not trying to prolong this. The only thing that I would be curious to see, and I'm glad Taylor made that point. I mean, I didn't assume that a person rubber stamps pass it on. I know it's going to go through a lot of hands, and that's kind of what I was getting at earlier. That there's a fee attached to make sure that we're break even. That makes sense. Doing it for free, we can't. Everything costs money. I mean, but that's the concern that I have. I don't want to. If this could be like a reviewed something where we can monitor what that expense looks like. I know we can make adjustments down the road, but I would be curious, like if we just kind of tracked the amount of time or what the expense is, like a 6-month window, a 3-month window, something like that, and then we can come back and make adjustments if we need to. I don't know how we get into all that stuff too, because that would be another huge discussion. But I mean, I'm almost on the fence to table this because now I just have a lot of questions. But I mean, we could vote on this in February. That's consideration. If we tabled it, to the special meeting. So I don't know where everybody else is at with any of it, or what anybody else's thoughts are. But I'm fine with reducing the amount, but I don't know if that's adequate or whatever. So I'm kind of on the fence.
I guess in response to Craig, I kind of agree with what you're saying. The reality is I do not see a material benefit to most of the businesses. We may catch a few that are not under the fire department inspections now, but I think those are going to be far and few between for storefronts. So I think we already got them covered from the safety standpoint. I know that's an argument, but I don't feel that you're going to have more than a handful if you have that many that are already not covered by the fire inspection on an annual basis. So,
Mayor, may I speak? Chief Sims?
Yes.
So I just want to recap, and I know a couple of things have been said here, and there are a lot of departments are involved in this business license that will help us out tremendously moving forward. But I do want to recap that annual inspections do get done by the fire department. Okay, so every year we try to get in every brick and mortar business in Bella Vista, commercial business. We try to get in there and make sure they're in the same location, make sure they're in the right area, make sure they have everything that's safe that they need for their business. We do that. We try to get through all those annually to almost 300 or so businesses here in Bella Vista. Where our issue lies with this, which the business license will help us with, and it goes far beyond the fire department, folks. It starts out with the planning. We have people that move from one place to another because they either can't afford to rent here or something happens here and they have to move over to another area. What this will help us with is if they have a business license, they'll locate that business license to their new address. Well, that will kick in a inspection or a certificate of occupancy or a location change of that business to make sure they're in the right place, make sure they can occupy their business in that space. That would kick that process in to make sure that planning's right, make sure that their building, what they're going into on the building side. If they're making any modifications, that kicks in the permit side for safety on the building, and it kicks in the fire department side for safety of the occupancy of that building. So that's kind of where it helps us out in that aspect. Not necessarily, we're going to get through the buildings or the businesses, but it would be nice to know if they change location before we have to go in and say you can't be in this location because you're not in the right zone, or you're not occupying this business safely, or you made these modifications to here and now you're being fined for that. Taylor, you want to speak on, am I kind of going down the right path on that?
Yeah, I mean, this is what we've discussed at length during the ordinance discussion is the assisting and staff is really, it's the location or relocation, the businesses that move around, reopen, because it's really hard to deal with on the back end if they just open up a storefront without any entitlement or due diligence meeting with staff. If they don't meet with staff, check the zoning before they buy it, or the realtor doesn't, right there is already starting a path that's pretty difficult for the business owner. And then we have to come in on the back end, and that's what we're trying to prevent. Which again, I know we're not talking about the ordinance itself, we're just talking about fees, but that is what streamlines this.
The way I look at it, having that in place, whether it's a fee or not, is a positive for us is a positive for us moving forward with planning, fire, building, moving forward. It's something that's going to really tremendously help us out and make sure our businesses are where they need to be at before they move into those spots.
Again, I want to reiterate, because there could be tremendous public confusion. If you all set that fine at that fee, at 0, they will think they don't have to do it. And they would still be required to do this. All of the implications, the inspections, the benefits, the detriments, all of that has been decided. This is only about the fee that will be charged when people file an application. And that's the proposal in front of you. Actually, the current motion is to amend it to reduce those. So that's what you're talking about right now. The whether or not they should be allowed to do it, people should know, even if you set it at 0, they still would have a requirement. The fee would be 0, but they would still be required to do it. I just want to really reiterate that for everyone, because I think we're moving into well, if we don't charge anything, then people won't worry about it, and who cares? But they'd still be on the hook for a violation of the ordinance if they didn't comply. And that's a heck of a lot more than 25 or 50 or $10.
Well, if you look at Taylor's chart of the comparison, her original proposal was eminently reasonable. If you're at $25 and $10, you're lower than almost everybody. I mean, she's got about 25 cities on there, and there'd only be 2 or 3 lower than you. I mean, you act like you're asking people to give a kidney. There's no chance this is enough money to cover the cost of it. 0, no chance. There's no chance what Taylor proposed covers the cost of it. I mean,
Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, great.
If I may, and I apologize, Chief Sims. I should have started with him. That brings me full circle. I don't have a problem. If we do anything, we can always reduce it, and everybody likes to get a refund check in the mail. But I think that's something that we can have kind of on a separate conversation. But I think we can track.
Well, hang on. Let me.
No refund. Okay, I'm just saying I'm not saying that we're going to refund or anything like that. I'm just saying that if the fee comes down, then we can make adjustments. But I do think with one caveat, and this is a whole other conversation, but we can track this and watch that, and then we can make adjustments down the road. Is that a better language, Jason? Adjustments, no refunds.
I just want to say, I mean, this is a fee for a permit. So once they pay the fee, they get the permit for the year. It could be when they come back to renew, they don't pay as much because it's been reduced. I just wanted to make that point.
Yeah, I apologize. Thank
you.
Anna? Thank you. I don't want to make light of any fees for our residents, and opening a business is a really challenging and difficult and expensive endeavor. So I appreciate all the folks that are coming in and opening businesses in Bella Vista. But we are talking about, if there's 300 businesses times $50, I mean, we're talking about $3,700 total. So it's definitely, I don't feel that it's a money grab for the city. I do wonder if it would even pay for the cost of all the departments that need to have a hand in the business license. So I do think we should proceed with the $50 and the $25 renewal. I definitely think that's fair for all of the folks that have to touch it and be a part of it and ensure that everything is in place. So I know we have to vote on the current proposal, but that's my 2 cents.
I guess in defense of the reduction, if you look at the table that was included with our packet, Rogers fee originally is $25. Bentonville has 0 fee. I guess and Fayetteville is I think 25, and then a renewal of, or 25 to 88, I guess is what it is. So we have two big sister cities next to us that are at or below the amended rate that I'm proposing. So,
Mayor.
Yes.
Yeah. Only thing I'll add to this is it's a good possibility I'm the only one on the panel that has been through the process and got a business license and has an LLC and operates my own business here in Bella Vista. And I can just tell you, this fee is not a lot, sure, but when you add them on all of the other fees that business owners get, it adds up, and it adds up fast.
yeah.
I would be in favor, if the rest of the council is, of tabling this and giving a couple more options to the next special meeting, and it's vote
on. It's up to council. I'm pretty reluctant on the tabling because the license goes into effect, I think, February 9. So I think it's not that big a decision. I think you guys got to decide on one of these and go with it.
Mr. Mayor, I would call for the question.
Okay. I think we had a motion and a second to have the business license be $25 and the renewal fee be $10.
God, it's ridiculous.
So I think we're ready for a roll call vote. Wanda?
Yes, council members Wilms,
Yes.
Isbell,
No.
Hanschel,
Yes.
Harp,
yes.
Hughes,
Yes.
Newport.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries 5-1. Jason, is that just voting on the amendment and then we have to vote on the whole thing, or is that?
No, that's just on the motion to amend. So now the question is on adoption of the proposed resolution as amended.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
I'm sorry, who is that?
Motion
You
to
can give it
approve
to
from
Anna.
Newport.
Or
Okay.
Newport, yeah. That's fine.
Okay. Shay Newport, motion, and what, a second by Craig?
Second, yes.
This is a motion to adopt the fees for the business license as amended at $25 and $10.
Council members Wilms,
No.
Isbell,
No.
Hanschel,
Yes.
Harp,
Yes.
Hughes,
Yes.
Newport.
Yes.
Motion carried 4-2. Okay, thank you for that. Next one is a resolution approving the mayor's appointment of Chuck Woods to the Tree Advisory Board, position 3, for the remainder of a 3-year unexpired term ending May 1, 2028.
Move to approve Chuck Woods to the designated board.
Enthusiastically second.
Okay, that is Larry Wilms and Travis Harp. Roll call vote.
Council members Wilms,
Yes.
Isbell,
Yes.
Hanschel,
Yes.
Harp,
Yes.
Hughes,
Yes.
and Newport.
Yes.
Motion carried 6-0. Thank you for that. Resolution authorizing the mayor and city clerk to enter into a renewal contract with Blue Guys IT in the total amount of $73,504.20 for the purchase of total security solution to enhance city cybersecurity efforts. Well, we talked about this at the work session. Did you want to hear from John Mokel about this again, or?
I would move to approve the purchase agreement in the resolution.
Second.
That was Larry Wilms and Craig Honchall. Is there any further discussion? Okay, roll call vote.
Council members Wilms,
Yes.
Isbell,
Yes.
Hanschel,
Yes.
Harp,
Yes.
Hughes,
Yes.
and Newport.
Yes.
Motion carried 6-0. Next one is a resolution amending the rules of order and procedure of the Bella Vista City Council to lengthen the period of citizen input during regular meetings to 60 minutes and for other purposes. Is there any discussion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
That was
Chuck.
Craig Honcho and
Travis can have it.
who?
Travis can have it.
Oh, okay. And Travis, sorry. Sorry, two people speaking at once. I couldn't pick it up. Any discussion or people ready to vote?
I guess my feeling is that we've been successful in operating for over 12 years as a city with the ordinance the way it is. And whenever we have business comes up, we have gladly extended the motion. I'm cautioning the council members on extending the time, that there may be a time when we choose not to want to extend the time frame for whatever the reason might be, and I can't think of one offhand. But I'm thinking that the 30 minutes is a reasonable time frame. You have 10 people that can speak. So as a result of that, I see no need for us to extend the time as a mandatory feature in our standards. So I will be voting no.
Sir.
Wendy?
So I've watched several council meetings before I was elected, and those were the STR council meetings. Those are the ones where it was an hour and a half of public comment before the meeting even started. And I can't see a reason why we would ever want to put a limit on hearing from the constituents, from the residents, from the people in our community and our community partners. So absolutely, for me, it's an easy yes to extend this. Even though the vote is a quick vote, I don't see why we would put any more barriers on public comment.
Okay, any more comments?
The only thing I will add, just to make sure everybody, if anybody's watching, that the council has the ability to extend any public comment at any time in 30-minute intervals. Is that correct? I think I'm saying that correctly.
Yes. Yeah. In fact, you can extend it indefinitely or to the end of the list or whatever. You're not limited to 30-minute intervals, but you do at least have to have that vote after 30 minutes on the current.
Okay. Thank you. I just wanted to make sure that anybody that may interpret this as we're placing a restriction, whatever, there's nothing in place at the moment that would restrict. It's just I think I'm just like, whatever. I mean, this is just kind of superfluous stuff. I think the current system that's in place is working fine. And so I don't really see a point, really. Anyway, thank you.
Mr. Mayor, I think it's just a numbers thing that maybe make somebody feel good to expand the time, get a pat on the back, but I see no need for changing our allotment of 30 minutes. We have always extended the time when appropriate and when there's people to speak. So it's never been an issue. It doesn't really take but 30 seconds to process a motion and a second and a vote, especially when we have people waiting to speak. So I think it's unnecessary to go through this procedure to modify our rules.
Sir?
So,
Yes.
Sir? While we can say that we as a council wouldn't do that, we don't know what future councils would do. I love the removing barriers as much as possible to allow public comment and engagement. And so if that is giving it a extra boost of 30 minutes, where we very rarely have that threshold hit, I'm all about it. Because like I said, we six wouldn't block that, but we can't say what other councils in the future might do.
Anybody else, or are we ready for a roll call vote? Okay, let's go ahead, Wanda, with the roll call vote.
Council members Wilms,
no.
Isbell,
No.
Hanschel,
No.
Harp,
Yes.
Hughes,
Yes.
Newport,
No.
Resolution failed 2-4. Okay, announcements. As we've mentioned, there's a meeting February 3 at 5:30 p.m., a special meeting of council at the courtroom. Next council work session is 5:30 p.m. Tuesday, February 17 at Bella Vista District Court. Next city council regular meeting, 6 p.m. Monday, February 23 at Bella Vista District Court. Planning Commission work sessions, 4:30 p.m. Thursday, January 29 at Bella Vista District Court. Planning Commission regular meetings, 4:30 p.m. or immediately following BCA Monday, February 9 at Bella Vista District Court. Board of Construction Appeals is 3 p.m. Tuesday, February 10, if necessary, at Fire Station number 4, Conference Room 1639 Forest Hills Boulevard. And I need to make one correction. That Planning Commission work session on January 29, we did have a note today that was canceled for a lack of business. The regular Planning Commission meeting is occurring on February 9, but the one on later this week is canceled. So if there isn't anything else, we'll go ahead and adjourn. Thank you so much for your attendance and attention.
Y'all.
No.